Hello viewers, welcome to Core for Any. If you hear new, hit subscribe buttons and notification bell so you can never miss any our incredible content. Flutter text app inside today we need to see this here. The right stops API we need to call this here. First of all we need to fix this here the file saving inside the data. Need to get here errors on the read only. Need to today first of all fix, and then after need to write completes API need to call this here. First of all need this here the go inside the subspace and to imports here the path providers. Write down here path providers and to import this here and to save this files here, and then after now I am waiting for the complete this here the get file, and now this is the done. And now need to go and to first of all add this here the API static const sv write stop is equal to need to write down here base URL is equal to write stop and to save this here like this file series. Now no needs any subspace. Now need to first of all need to fix this here the file saving issue. First of all need this here the save path. We need this here because directly not work here the save files. That's we need to give this here the proper path for these apps. First of all need to get this here app string and to save this here the name says save file path is equal to blank like this save, and to write down here at the bottom inside one functions futures directory. I have to give this here the get path, get save path functions need to write down here and to call this here. Now need to check here if Android platform as an Android, then to return this here get temporary directory. Else parts need to calling this here and to call this here the async methods and to return here get application document directory. Otherwise you to give this here the cache directory is waste, but we need to use this here the document directory, not use document because we need to use this here the cache directory is good because we need to not need to show inside the users and cannot modify these files. That's why I need to give this here the cache directory and to save this here like this path we need to set this here. Other the directory we need to use this here the document, but document inside the show this file. That's why not set here the document directory. We need to use this here the cache directory path we need to given this here. Then after we need to go here and to call this here the start init functions. Inside we need to write down here the get this path. We need this here the path. We need to call this here the functions. After gets here the access, need to call here get, write down here await get save path, create here the brackets and to call this here the path property. Need to call this here to return here the path of these files. Like this we need to calling here and to call here. Now need to go inside the save inside the files. Need to give this here the proper path. We need to save this here and also need to bind with here the string and path. Otherwise no needs here. Need to go directly here down. Here write down need to write down here the this slash need to add this here. Now need to get this here call here the method as a save file path. Like this we need to given this here and also make here one mistakes. We need to fix this here, not given here the double quotes in times, and to not parse inside the node.js service inside this value, need to give this here the double quotes like this, fix here the issue. Same as need to copy these lines and to paste this here, but we need to remove here comma like this. We need to apply here and to give this here the path here. And one more important part, we need to create here the gets JSON files of the JSON string. We need to need this here after the complete threads. We need to send inside the server side the all collected the stops. We need to put this inside the this data inside the post API. We need to how can get read this path. We need to give this here the right here the functions. Need to get these files inside the data how can read as a JSON string. Need to get write save location JSON string, and to give this here integer booking ID like this. We need to call this here and to return this here. First of all, need to write down here the try catch. This is the important parts. Sometimes maybe not available files and to crash in these apps. That's why I need to write down here. And to also need to print this here the debug print. We need to write down here the debug print, and to give this here the errors it string like this. We need to write down here, and to return here the function as a string. We need to give this here the blank array. We need to pass this here, and also need to return here the another array same as, but we need to pass here the value as a dollars. To read this here the files, need to copy here this logics to use this here, and to write down here the read a synchronized strings, read as a string synchronized strings. Need to call this here these functions and to put this here like here, and we need to save this here. These functions now need to get this here the JSON array. Need to valid JSON errors. Need to returns because need to not add inside the files array brackets, because need to always appends here the new locations with comma separators. That's why need to always need to returns here the add here the starting brackets and ending brackets need to append, then after valid these JSONs. Otherwise not valid this JSON inside this file saving the data. This is the smart way and easy to save and easy to get here to retrieve this data and to fastly. Otherwise need to every time need to convert inside the array and then need to put this here like this. This logic is not where for the systems every time need to not possible to read like this here the data. That's why need to short way to need to create here like this, implement here the logics, and this is the smart way and to improve your application performance like this. And now we need to go inside the running rides view and to go here. First of all, we need to write down here the functions for the stop rides. We need to write here the functions and API calls. Need to need this here. First of all, we need to copy this here the API ride starts. We need to need this here the functions. We need to copy here and to paste this here like this. And then after we need to modifications here and to write down here the stop rights. We need to write down here these functions and to call this here. Now no needs here the OTP, tends to remove here and to change this here the start location to need to give this here the end locations. So need to need this here because need to pass this here the drop off latitudes and drop off longitudes need to send here, and also need to send here the JSON string of the collecting all locations in this rights. Need to put inside here and to calculate here the server side the kilometer calculations. That's why need to need this here. If not gets any the end locations, then need to not terminate this rights, because need to always needs here the drop off locations. Now need to write down here the parameters. So need to change this here and to write down here the drop latitudes and drop longitudes. Also need to change this here the start location to end locations with latitudes and longitudes, and also need to remove this here and to give this here the toll amounts. Parameters need to write down here toll text parameters, not amounts. Need to check here, that's why. And also need to write down here text editing controllers, we need to copy here, paste this here, and to write down here tool. Copy here and to use this here, these tools controllers inside the complete rights text field, and to write down here the controller, put this here like this way. And also need to check this here another things, need to set here by default 0 because need to given here always 0 in start. Now cancel, need to give this here the color change, here the red colors, need to set here the cancel buttons, and then after need to done, so need to remove here these functions and to call this here the API. Call this here API like this here. Then after done, I'm to calling this here. Now need to come here inside this right stops and to write down here to remove this here this value, and to write down here md show alerts write complete, set here the titles completed, and I need to set here response objects and to print this here the message for the returning here as string optional double quotes inside, to give this here the msg success message, need to return here and to save this here. Now also need to give this here the another parameters for this here the right location, and to save this here the JSON string of the collecting locations, so need to pass this here as a JSON string, to call this here the location helpers dot share, and to get this here get ride location JSON string, and to give this here the booking ID, need to copy here this booking ID and to pass this here, and to give this here as integers optionals, and to set here the 0 and to call like this here. And now we need to change this here as a tool text, need to give this here. First of all, need to check this here equal true blank, then to pass here the 0 of value, and then after otherwise you need to give this here the txt tools dot text, need to pass this here. Now also need to give this here the calling API names, need to change this here as we write stop, need to pass this here like this, need to set here the value and to calling this here. And one more things, after the completes, need to call this here the location helper share, and to call this here the stop ride like this, need to calling for the saving all locations. Now need to save inside the files because need to stop these rides, press this here the button, that's why I need to stop here like these functions, and to calling this here. Now need to check here the against the codes and not any problems, need to check, after need to run this here and to test these apps with the start rights to end rights. And already I have fixed set here the flag as a waiting for users, need to set here. First of all need to start this rights, then after need to call this here the complete rights, and to open this here the pop-ups as a given rates, need to check this here. First of all the complete, after need to initialize value, need to given this here as a rate, we need to give this here the initialize here the 3, we need to set as a pi, save here by default, and also need to save this here. Now need to restart this app. Now need to test years and console not need to check this years. This is the map related errors, need to later fix, but now no needs. Need to clear this text and to check this here. Now need to click on start and to enter here the OTP. First of all need to check inside the database. Now need to enter here OTP 3 4398 and to click on start ride, and to start ride are the done. Then after you need to call this here the waiting for some data. Now need to click here the stop rides, complete rides. You need to call this here the buttons, and to call this here the API, and also need to fix this here this pop-up value. Need to go and to fix this here with opacity set here 0.4 like this save here. Now need to cancel here. Again need to click here at the stop, and now need to displaying here goods. If you enter here the tolls, if you not enter here the tolls, then automatically take as a 0, because need to set here the condition. If gets here the blank, then to set here the 0 like this. Need to set here the conditions. Then after, if you give this here the pi, then also takes here the tolls amount as a take here the pi. Now need to done here, need to give this here the tolls, need to done here, and to write complete need to get this here the successfully, and to reflect not reflecting here, so need to check here why not reflect. Right, start stop was call these functions, need to call here, that's why not calling here. Now first of all need to reset this here the data as a waiting. Now need to go inside the database, and to return here the start as a red start flags need to set here again. Need to refresh this here. Now need to get here told pi is okay, and now need to set here the booking status as a for as a start, and also need to go inside the user details, and to set this here the informations related to status need to set here true, because need to write as a started. So need to give this here the flags the right to, and to set this years. Now again need to restart this app. Now need to click on the complete. Need to check against, oh I know, or maybe this is issue. Need to remove these lines and to fix these errors. Need to let these here lines copy here, and to go inside the errors. Need to put this here, and to set here not equal to bst, right, complete loading this data. Then after displaying here. Now again need to reset here the flags. Now need to go inside the booking details, and to reset here the flag as a start. We need to set this here for this debug work or not. So need to test this here. Like this need to set here. Again need to restart this app. Now click on completes, and to enter here the tolls as a $10, and to complete and write completed successfully, and also need to get this here the how was your rides. and to get this here the rating pop-ups. If you like this video, please give the thumbs up. If you're new user, so please subscribe my channels and press the notification bell icon. You can get every new video notifications and awesome content. If you have any question, so please write down the comment sections. I will help you and sort out your issue. Everyone have a nice day. Goodbye and take care.